The rise in participatory culture and the evolution of digital media technologies that have facilitated this phenomenon have transformed the ways we exist in the world by creating new possibilities for us to engage with a wider community. Jenkins explains this phenomenon as being characterized by relatively low barriers to artistic expression and civic engagement, strong support for creating and sharing one's creations, and some sort of information mentorship, whereby what is known to the most experienced is passed along to the novices. Most importantly, participatory culture is also one in which members believe their contributions matter and feel some degree of connection with one another.
And that's precisely how participatory culture works. We throw ideas out into the world, we bring them back in an improved way because of our engagement with communities.
It is important to acknowledge that the phenomenon long preceded the technology that has allowed it to flourish today. Jenkins tracks these developments back to the invention of the amateur printing press, which people used to publish what we now call zines. This medium facilitated the emergence of virtual communities through which information circulated through print. Delwich and Henderson consider the emergence of the digital platforms that have enhanced participatory culture to be divided into 4 distinct phases. Let's take a closer look. Phase 1. Emergence. The 1980s were characterized by the transformation of global communication landscapes. Personal computers became common fixtures in people's homes and offices, and networking them with each other seemed like the next logical step. During this time, virtual communities continued to emerge through bulletin board systems, college radio stations, and independent record labels. Also significant was the advent of the laser printer, which introduced ordinary citizens to the world of small-scale publishing. Phase 2. Waking up to the web. By this phase, the public began to feel the unavoidable presence of what Time magazine referred to as the strange new world of the internet. Graphic web browsers such as Mosaic and Netscape made it possible to search the web and create your own web pages. This phase saw the arrival of popular websites IMDb, Yahoo, Amazon, Google, and email, which further decentralized the ways we work, learn, and play. Phase 3. Push-button publishing. User-friendly publishing systems such as Blogger took much of the intimidating mystique away from computer programming and almost completely obliterated barriers for individuals to engage in these new technologies. Several new platforms such as Second Life, MySpace, Flickr, and a tremendous amount of fandom sites represented significant steps forward for individuals to share, annotate, and remix digital information. Phase 4. Ubiquitous connections. Widespread broadband internet connections meant participatory networks were able to grow exponentially at an even more accelerated rate. YouTube invited citizens to participate in the bizarre world of vines, epic fails, piano-playing cats, and other viral videos. Users shaped video sharing platforms to their own purposes and experimented with new forms of citizen journalism, performance art, mashup and remixing practices, and sharing DIY tutorials. This transformed digital publishing into transmedia publishing. Also at this time, mobile phones began to evolve into handheld computers with powerful multimedia capabilities. Thanks to these developments, citizens all around the world are able to create and distribute messages via online and interpersonal networks at an ever-accelerating rate. The tools required to participate are easily accessible and inexpensive, which further erodes the barriers to participation. Digital platforms provide spaces where we can promote our personal and political interests, as well as virtual sites for protests. For example, the famous Kony 2012 campaign aimed to make the African warlord famous and globally known through digital media, in the hope of creating public outrage that would influence military intervention in his activities in Africa. This campaign would definitely not have progressed to such an extraordinary magnitude if it was limited to physical space. In 2010, 65% of young people in America had produced media, and over 1/3 of these teens have shared their creations on digital platforms. Therefore, more and more people are becoming active participants in society, and society itself is more encompassing of its participants.
Today, a new IBM computer has reached a personal scale. A person can afford it. A person can put it anywhere: office, home, or school. And a person can learn to use it with ease. IBM made its personal computer to help a person be more productive, to help a person be more creative. And those are good reasons for a person to feel good.